You should be sitting here. So I can ask you.
I know. I think I would like to be. It makes you feel a little bit nervous, right?
Right.
But I've been doing this so long, you know, for like 3 weeks.
You've been doing this for a while, right?
So it's pretty easy for me now.
At least a year?
Yeah, not a year, but I would say
Long ass time.
for a while.
Yeah.
My phone is watching my can, my soda can. Yeah, but yeah, I'm clipping. I'm too loud. Got a little excited, but that's how I do it. You know, I just start talking like this to make it comfortable, so I don't say, "Hey, let's go." But we're rolling now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I mean,
You can-
but I am careful on what I'm gonna say.
But there's nothing. There's nothing you can really say. That's bad. We edit it out. Do you believe that I actually go around and watch this whole thing back? Every single and all the 3
Every
hours,
single interview.
everything single interview, and just to make sure everything is good.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't doubt you.
There's some moments when people get a little bit, weird. So
I like to see that. I like to see those clips where you take
the
out
blips.
those juicy contents.
I'm gonna have one episode like that where I just check out everything and make sure, just it might be funny.
Have you had like multiple
Guess?
guests, like three
Yeah.
or four of them at the same time?
I've had actually the last episode I had 4 guys in here. I don't like the fact that I said 4 guys, but because I'd rather have no, I'm kidding. But I had so I don't know if you know Collins used to do our music videos.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so Marlon and I wanted to. By the way, Marlon is not here because, like I told you, he's in South Africa. So
Right.
I'm one-manning it. That's why everything is a mess here. My keys, but you gotta make it look.
Yeah.
Look.
I was looking forward to talk to Marlon too. I mean,
Yeah.
he has some funny
Some
shit
fun-
to talk about.
The reason. Oh, anyway, let me finish what I was telling about Collins. So I invited
Right.
Collins, and so I gotta adjust my volume here a little bit. So I invited him, and Marlon and I were gonna interview him. So just to talk about photography, because the whole thing about this is it's called Such Is Life. So we wanna just talk about anything. That's why I wanna have my friends, Marlon's friends, everybody. Eventually the idea is to have anybody in all walks of life just to tell us how they go about their day-to-day life. It's a lot easier that way than than having to do a specific subject. Like, let's say I'm just talking about the economy. I can spend 3 hours just talking about the economy. It gets boring, because people have different sides. People have different, they have the business aspect. They have their hobbies. They have, I like movies, like we're talking about stuff now, like, camera work and cinematic stuff. So it opens up for conversation. But anyway, so the whole thing is I was going to have Collins here so we could ask him about photography, obviously, for the most part, because that's what he does.
Right.
So the day that we're supposed to come here, he goes, "Hey, you know what? I know somebody who's, my friend, I think it'll be good for this. My friend." So we ended up being 4 of us, and we ran out of mics because we only had 3 mics. So I had to give him one additional wireless mic, and that it worked good, but there was some echoes in the background because they were not matching the sounds. But,
Right.
but it was pretty, it was pretty good. Yeah. So that's been the only one I've had is multiple people. But the idea is that I'll have some. Eventually, I think I'm gonna have people. I'm gonna have couples too, just to talk about how they feel.
Couples would be fun.
That'll be fun, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Jenny was gonna come in with her. We're gonna talk about. I almost said women empowerment, but she literally specifically didn't want that word. She wanted to talk about boss babes.
Wait, women in parliament?
No, she wanted to talk about because I thought it was women empowerment, but she wanted to talk about
empower.
Empower, yeah. But she wanted to talk about boss babes.
What's boss babes?
So pretty much, that's women that are bosses.
Oh, okay.
So because her and their cousin and their friends, whatever, most of them are bosses. So she wanted to talk about challenges of being a boss and being powerful and
There
stuff
are
like. So that would have
challenges.
been a really good one.
Yeah, I have plenty of women bosses. Actually, from my work.
Trust me, even the wife alone is a woman boss.
True. On some days.
No, yeah, but that would have been a multiple people interview too, and then the person who really made me want to set up for multiple people is I when I was actually setting up for this, it was actually funny. I ran into this couple, this Indian couple in Michael's, and I was buying some of his artifacts and stuff. And then they were asking me why I was buying all that stuff, and they were really interested in seeing why I needed that stuff. And then I explained to them what I was trying to do, and they were so amazed, and they wanted to come here. They own their own computer business. They work at home, and multi I don't know, $1 million company or whatever. I just met them that day, and we just became friends.
Okay.
And so hopefully eventually I'll have them come in here when they get a chance, because their son was sick and all this stuff, but I'm still working on that. So I'm glad you asked me about having multiple guests, but that's the idea, so. But for my friends like you, I'll just, I think we just gun it. Because
well, maybe next time I'll bring some of my friends.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, we should. We talk about everything. Talk about golf. We talk about, that was the whole idea. We grown now. I can be, making, this is my hobby now.
That's good. Yeah, I like that you keep finding passions, new passions here and there.
And I like to talk. You know that.
Yes. This will feed into it.
Yeah, but anyway, man, I really appreciate you coming, Kit. You don't understand. I couldn't wait. I couldn't sleep. It was almost like I'm going on my first date.
That exciting, huh?
It was that exciting. I felt like I was going on my first date.
Oh, wow. Okay, I hope your first date wasn't just two people talking and yeah.
No, really, because you of course you play a big part in my life. Your friends are very important, especially relationships. This is also the reason why this is even possible is because of relationships.
Right.
It's one thing I learned at an early age. We often burn bridges and stuff like that, just being human, and I've done it a lot of times. I've done it so many times.
So have I. Yep.
But when you do face it, you never know when you need somebody in life. One thing I've always said, I've always never forgotten, and I'm not even embarrassed or shy to talk about, is something that stuck. I never even mentioned it to you as much or emphasized it, but I remember you were very, very helpful. You're a kind-hearted person, I'm not trying to make you sit here and blush or anything.
Yeah,
but
I'm turning teary-eyed.
No, but really, our friendship, you've done a lot of things just out of help. Like you've come to help our family with our charities, without being asked, no payments or anything, just out of being a friend, a good friend.
Should I be asking for payments next time?
I hope I'm not leading you to that, towards that.
I'm pretty expensive, actually.
Okay, so that's good then. So again, that's a humble beginning, because you know that I can afford you, so you don't ask for the payment.
Right. Until you can afford me. That's when I ask. Nah,
honestly, but it's things like that, that even when we buy what I was about to say, when we used to work together, I had times when I couldn't, when I couldn't afford a car at the time. If I look at it now, it looks like, like I'm past that stage. But the things you did, I did not even ask you. You just came through and you helped out. And I wasn't the only person that you helped out, not even for monetary value, but just being there for people. And that's very inspiring. And it makes you want to be a better person. So I've always. Of course, it's, as a man or as a person, it's probably hard to just, call you and just say, hey, kid, how much I appreciate you or anything like that. But, when I walk around in different walks, when I meet people, I always give examples like that, believe it or not. Like, there's certain people that play a part, because it's not easy to be very humble, to be humbling anyway. It's just something that I go through and I'm learning. And so I appreciate to have people like you in my life. And it's going on for what, like 4 or 5 years now since I've known you? I don't remember.
2016, I think. Yeah, that's when I started at BioWorld.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 5-6 years. Yeah.
And there's people that we probably both don't even talk to anymore that we used to talk to, but we still stay strong. And you were very good at asking me, if I want to do dinner and anything like that, so it's things like that, So yeah, man. So good life is rewarding. Things like that are rewarding. That's why I said I'm so big on relationships, and I'm thankful.
That's good. That's
so
good.
I'm glad I can say it right here without being shy.
Wow. Yeah, you being really transparent.
Yeah, because like I was saying, part of the reason I even do this podcast is the world is it's a deep time right now, especially mentally. It's almost like a spiritual switch.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrities, friends, everybody. There's just so much pressure. There's so much, the COVID, especially mental health is big. Everybody's is struggling, especially the whole COVID thing.
Right,
It really
right.
divided people. People became people like me. I'm not an introvert. You know, I'm always up and down,
Yeah.
bar
yeah.
hopping. I used to go out and stuff, and then having to stay inside and just keep to myself, not talking to people, not hang out. That was a challenge for me, but at the same time, it helped me understand who I am. It just gave me in a view of the things that I would like to do, what I need to do. It kind of slowed down, because especially slowed down my mindset, because here in the United States things are fast.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you don't get a chance to see that. So it's like it's a blessing in disguise. But yeah, that's probably the reason why I do this, because it made me realize that I like to talk. So and I know
this gives you a vehicle to
it
do
gives me a
that.
vehicle to do that. Give me space.
Yeah.
This is probably therapy for me too. What I could have been probably somewhere else, just probably sitting down on a boat or something, but I can open up, and kind of share my views with somebody,
Getting
joke
drunk
around.
somewhere.
Exactly. I can get get here. I can get funny. I can joke around. I can laugh, and we can get serious, which is therapy. So it's therapeutic. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly.
But what impresses me about you is the fact that you wanna get better. Like you wanna learn stuff. You wanna get to know people. You wanna improve relationships. That's how you've always been, and that's I like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
A lot of people, like you said, pride. So when I was young, someone told me this. It's always stuck in my head. Is that
Right.
pride is a bitch.
Right.
It hinders you. There's nothing good that comes out of it.
Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And
And I find you really humble.
I appreciate it. Really.
That's why. Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, sometimes you'll boast and talk crap, but who doesn't?
when it gets to my head, I get a girl look at
Right.
me and I feel like I'm macho man.
right. But that eventually you'll be brought down. I mean
Yeah.
those kind of things don't last very long. But yeah, the I think you were brought up really well.
I
So
appreciate
credit
it.
to your parents.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I think some of it is cultural too. It's a lot of it is cultural. I went to boarding school too, so I've been alone for a long time. So I think even my mom gives me an example of that a lot, because I grew up in boarding school for a long time. My parents were here in the United States, so
Right.
not to I didn't think about it like that. Where I would sit there in the corner and cry or think like but it's just that going through that, everybody would their parents would come, they'd give them food, they come and visit them. I was having my uncle come and visit me, and of course it was tough love. He wasn't coming every week because I'm not his son, so of course he was taking good care of me. But I think all that played a part. So, and I'm thankful for that, because I even think about if I grew up here, from born here, I don't know how they've turned out. I don't know, and that got caught up in that too, especially when I went to school here too. There's certain things I started questioning myself, like I'm changing a little bit. This is not how I look at life. This is not how I go about life and stuff. But I do appreciate you saying that you believe that I'm humble and stuff, and I try to be that as well, because it's very important. You don't want to be. I've had, actually, like we're talking about losing friends or relationships. I've had times when I've lost friends because I went over myself too much. I felt like I was better. We won't say any names, but I'm sure a few people that are even my romanticisms. Some girls that or people that I liked a lot, and I just never realized how much I was being over them. I was being too prideful to until it was too late.
Right.
But we have different areas that we fail to understand. But I appreciate that. Yeah,
But it's not too late. I mean, you learn from it.
you learn from it. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
Exactly.
a lesson.
Lesson,
that you
exactly.
carry to your
Yeah.
future relationships. I mean,
Yeah.
I've lost friends that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, me. 15 years ago, it's completely different. Like back then I wouldn't come here and talk
Exactly.
to someone. Like
That's good.
I don't see a point, and
Yeah.
to me it's like a waste of time.
But you're learning to
But I learned to get
accept
better
better
myself,
than what-
and
yeah.
see.
exactly.
I see value in relationships. I see value in
Yeah.
talking to people and
Right.
learning about their culture,
Their
learning about
background,
their
yeah.
struggles. I mean, these days I can walk up to a stranger and just be a friend and talk to them. But
That's-
in the past I was like, "Ugh,
Yeah,
don't come near me."
That's me right there. I just talk to anybody.
right. And I see why extroverts like you
Yeah.
find joy in doing that.
Yeah.
I'm still an introvert. Like some days
Right.
I want to
But
stay
you've
at
changed a
home.
lot, and you get
Right,
Yeah.
all right. And actually working in Bioworld and meeting
It
someone
changed.
new
Yeah.
people changed me too. Because in the past I've always worked with engineers, and you know how engineers are. They're exactly like me. So they don't want to talk. And even
Yeah.
now where I work, a lot of people
They're so
are like
focused on what they're doing.
yeah, and they're very kind of socially
Right.
awkward, so they don't like to
Yeah.
communicate. But I mean, there's one coworker, a good friend of mine, that always calls me a social butterfly.
Really?
Like,
You?
yeah. Can you imagine that, a social butterfly?
That's
Yeah,
so
I think that would
funny.
be more appropriate for you. But yeah.
That is funny. Yeah. But you bring up a good point too. There's that stigma too with engineers too. I thought about that. I think I used to think about that too in a way. Bioward, like the group of people we used to work with, it's almost like it took away that stigma where I used to think like, okay, every engineer is that way, because those guys were like, they did the same thing everybody else did. But I mean, you do see a lot of introverted people and stuff. But then because we're such a small group, a close knit group, would open up a little bit more. So you would see like, oh, this guy I've always thought like this. Then you start talking to him, and you guys are sharing the same concept. You all think like, I didn't even think this guy looks at things this way.
Right.
So it's very interesting. That's
It
and
is.
that's part of the reason why, like you said, I like to learn to talk to people just of different backgrounds. I've been able to actually get access to a lot of areas of even things that I had no idea. Even just this whole thing about cameras and stuff. It's because I started talking to Collins. Collins was doing music videos. I wasn't so when I was doing music, I wasn't so as much as extroverted as I am, I'm not so big on being on camera, where I just show like this is easy for me. It's a lot easier because I'm just talking, and I can control it.
Right.
I can't really show myself. But I wasn't really able to really have being on like on a vlog, or it's open. Like my brother Marlon does that right now. He's doing a vlog.
You on music videos? What are you talking
Exactly, but I'm saying that's why I never did so many music videos, because I had to do it because it was part of the to get success, and that you have to do. It's just part of the process, It's like you have to do it so you can sell your music and stuff like that. But I was so like part of. I'm glad that I'm talking about this. The other thing is like there's certain things why I even stopped music. Like I'm transparent about this, and it's because I made music. I liked hip hop music and stuff like that. But there's a stigma where everybody would just call me like, okay, he's a rapper. I don't even like the word rapper, because I'm not a rap. I'm not rapping, rhyming. I like to do creatively. I like to make songs. That's why in every song I'd never cursed. But then the expectation for music and rap is like you're supposed to be saying F this, F that. But if you don't know me, you haven't listened to my song, you think, okay, he's just another rapper. Or if I make a song with another rapper, they're gonna be saying that on my song. And that's what we used to bump heads a lot. And then the not that I have to follow this projection, but it's almost like they have to the way to do it is having like boobs, butts, girls in music. That's what works for it. But
adjectives.
Exactly. Creatively,
Yeah.
I never liked that, and it's not an excuse, because I mean there's other music genres like rock. They don't do all that stuff. But for that specific, I don't know why you have to be in that bucket. It's almost like you have to be accepted. So I used to struggle a lot with that. But then when I made Collins and stuff, I just got so fascinated about cinematography. Like right now, I'm being like that's what I watch on YouTube. I just watch people how they make cinema movies and stuff. It's not even about action. It's just I'm so amazed by how the camera works. And it's funny, I'm catching this at 7 years old now, but I mean there's no age limit.
Still pretty young.
I know, but I'm just fascinated. The funny thing is I watch these. Some of the shows I watch is this girl, I think she's called her 86M2. That's the channel on YouTube. All she does is she vlogs her life, but she doesn't do the typical like jittery camera. Hey guys, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
She doesn't even talk. She doesn't even talk on the show. So she just has the camera. She lets the picture talk for itself. She's her and the husband and the kid, and I think she's in Germany. She's Indonesian. And then it's something about those channels that is so good at cinematography. So it's like she captions everything. So she said, like one of the topics might be called Autumn Summer. When you see me watching, you might think it's weird. Like, what is this guy watching? But it's so calming. It's so cool. Like how she
So what
records the
does she
scenes.
film? What does
She just
film?
films it live, but it's so like the filming is so good. Like she'll film like in the kitchen making potatoes and stuff. It's so the aesthetic is just
So
so
just
it's
random
so
day to
yeah,
day
random day.
life.
But I can tell that now that I'm doing it now, I can tell how much work she's putting in it. And you can see her following is big. It's a lot of following, of course, a lot of women, but there's also a lot of few guys. But she gets all these awards for like cinematography and stuff like that, YouTube and stuff. Because she literally just doesn't talk. She doesn't even really show her face like this. She shows it an angle where she might be in the kitchen sweeping, and then she just types what she's doing. She probably says like a saying that somebody said in the back in the day, but it's just so engaging. For those 9 minutes you can't stop watching it. And then the shots, the way she make the picture look, it's just so cool. So when I started watching stuff like that, I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can stay away. It inspires me a lot. I was like, not a lot of people are doing this type of film. Like, it's almost like back in Charlie Chaplin days when like a silent film, and it makes you read the caption and stuff. But it's she's not saying, it's not even a husband helps you every now and then and stuff. Maybe I'm just older, but it's calming, it's fun. It's just like, I was like, okay, this is so cool. And she's getting paid for it on YouTube, I'm sure, with all those millions of views.
Yeah. So are you planning to make something like that?
Yeah, I'm actually working. I'm working. The thing about it though is just that the editing takes time, but I've been teaching myself too. I'm teaching, like, how this show, I'm not editing on my own. I send it, again, speak of relationships, the guy who actually does this video is in, I don't wanna butcher. I think he's actually in either Ukraine or Czech, somewhere in that area. So I send it to him, and he's gonna be mad when he says this. So I mean, I'm sorry, man.
You're not supposed to promote him?
No. Because if I say he's in the wrong place, it's just like me saying somebody's in Russia when they're in somewhere else. So I just forgot where he said. He
probably knows who you're talking.
Yeah,
about.
His name is Philip. So so he's helped us. He does a lot. He's in art. He's in he does art and stuff like that. So, but he's also kind of getting into editing videos and stuff. And time is what we don't have on our side. So but those different short films that I'm trying to do, I'm learning to do small ones and stuff like so. When I'm done at night, that's what I'll be doing. On my MacBook, I just chop. So I'm learning. Just teaching myself new hobbies and stuff. And eventually, maybe I might have a movie in the cinemas one day.
Wow, I'm excited to see your first work. I mean, whatever you have.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm actually working on it, and I'm like right now I'm learning like I just didn't know there's so much that goes into videography, like the color grading, making the colors look good, the skin tones and stuff like that. But the more I learn that stuff, the more I'm getting so passionate about it. It's weird. It's like it's keeping me away. So now I hope it doesn't keep me away from the outside life. But it makes me go outside more because I'll just go to like a lake somewhere by myself with my camera, and then just start recording scenes and stuff like that, and then go back there and try to edit over and over, mess up. But the thing is, I just need to get out of being a perfectionist, because I'm trying to get an award-winning film when I'm just starting this. That's the problem. I need to just do it and leave it alone.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're passionate about it, I think it's just passionate. It's not like you want to win something. It's just that you want it to be perfect. That's how most people are, especially it's something new to you, and you want to put so much of your energy.
My energy into it, yeah. Now that I understand time a lot, the older I am, it sucks, man. Because now, if I knew time when I was younger, but that's how wisdom beats your life.
Everyone has that kind of regret. Of course, they wish they did a lot of things differently.
Yeah. I see you doing golf now. You play golf now.
I am playing a lot of golf, and I'm actually I'm the golf captain for radio now.
What?
Yeah.
They have a team golf
so
team?
they have like a kind of a Olympic style thing every year where they compete against other companies.
See, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. I remember when you picked up on it, you just said like how we just talking about how I just want to do film. I'm gonna start playing golf, and you remember you asking, was it Patrick back at BioWorld, and you're asking because you did golf, and you're asking
Patrick
him,
and Jay
asking about the clubs and the different things, and at the time I was just like it's one of those things that you just liking at this time, but then
like
you
a
picked up
flash
and
in the pan kind of thing,
So it's really
well that's the thing with me. Whenever I like
something,
I'll go full blown on it. I mean, and try to do it as best as I can,
Yeah.
and then see how it goes instead of like half-assing.
Half-ass,
Am I
yeah.
supposed to say ass
No, it's cool. It's an adult channel. You can
Okay,
say
that's
anything you
fine.
want.
Okay, yeah, half-assing it or half donkeying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that way I can see whether I really like it, if I'm good at it, or rather, if I'm good at it, will I enjoy it more?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The good thing about golf too, talking about socializing too. You get to meet a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I met a lot of
people
lot
of different
people.
aspects,
I mean, even
and it leads you to learning other things, other avenues.
right.
Then that's how you
right.
get into different areas. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I have a few good friends that I play with and that I met at the golf course. Like,
Right.
there's this 20-something-year-old.
Yeah.
We met like maybe during COVID actually. Yeah, we just met at a golf course, and then we've been in each other's lives for the past few years.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
why you haven't been talking to me. Now I see. I've been replaced. I was wondering.
Well, I wouldn't see replaced, but at the back of the line probably. No,
I'm kidding.
No, it's just that I'm really bad. Like I said,
No,
I'm really
you
bad
keep it
at,
up.
like keeping up.
No, you do keep up, man. I'm
Like,
really just
keeping in
I'm really
touch.
just teasing. No, that's good. My problem with that is I think when it comes to hobbies, I have an addictive personality. I get addicted to something. I mean, more than passionate. So like, it's the same thing. Like, but then thing is, I'm also multi. I'm like a multi hobbyist. I like a lot of things at once. So if I see something, I'll like it. Then I start getting crazy and stressed when I lose time for the other. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll like you're saying, if I really start looking into golf, I might like that, and I like filming. Then I just started getting all depressed. Like, what do I have time
Which
for?
one
what?
do you want to
What
do?
do I want to do more? Yeah, because even like I'm telling you this, so
Right.
like most people that do like the camera work and stuff like that, maybe YouTubers and stuff like that would do the whole thing, but most people don't do everything. You either do the camera work and you give it to somebody else to do the edits, because that's their niche. It's like me writing software and then doing the hardware for it. It doesn't really, you can, but it's just like something's gonna lose, because you can't really do everything at once. But then I want to do it all. I just find it so
But you find it interesting.
yeah, I find it
right?
interesting.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. So I wanna
Right.
touch on it. Then if I can't, if I can't do it, then
I mean, there's nothing. Personally, I feel there's nothing wrong with that. I
Yeah.
mean, being addicting to it is
Addic-
something good.
yeah.
You're not addicted to drugs.
To drugs,
or
yeah.
something that
That's harms
destroys
you.
your body
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine to give up something else
To
so
give
that
time
you can
for something
pursue
else,
this. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
see how it goes. I mean,
See how it goes. Yeah.
you're spending time on something that you enjoy.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. There's only so much time, and
Yeah.
I would rather pursue something that I enjoy as much, like I said, as much as possible,
Mhm.
instead of like splitting my time between different things
Right.
and then not achieving the potential fully.
Yeah.
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 I would rather just go full blown and then find out that I hate this, and I'll give it up and go do something else.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's good.
Like I probably didn't tell you this. I'm in a worship team in the church.
Right.
So I sing in front of few hundred
You
people
sing?
on the stage.
I knew you were very involved with your church, but I didn't know at that level.
Yeah. I just started like beginning of this year. I was like, let's try this. So yeah. So
Really?
like 200 people.
So what are you singing, like in a specific?
like in a
'Cause I know there's
four-person
there's
group kind of.
just
I sing a
oh
tenor.
just a tenor, but it's just so it's actually a small group. It's not like a whole choir.
No, it's not.
It's almost like a band size.
Yeah.
What?
It's a boy band kind of thing.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That that will make me, not to say that's the only reason I'll come to church, but I just want to come and experience.
One day,
I want to come and
yeah.
experience that. Yeah. So do you guys like sing at every service?
It
or-
depends on when the lead schedules me. So I sing like once or twice a month.
How did you get into that? Like, did
Just
you
volunteered?
Just volunteered, right?
audition, and then I got in.
And do you guys like have like practice sessions during the
Yeah,
week and
we
stuff like that?
rehearse
Rehearse?
on one day on Wednesdays,
Okay.
right before that service on
Right.
Sunday.
And so you're really getting out of your introverted self.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. But I like these kind of challenges. I like
Right.
put myself out there.
No, challenges are good. You have the
Yeah.
most fun when you challenge yourself to do things that you otherwise would never have done, you know.
Exactly.
So-
exactly.
So that's very interesting. That's cool, man.
Especially like work.
Mhm.
Work. You spend a lot of hours at work, right?
Right.
So now I'm actually doing things that I'm not
That-
familiar with. Like I'm doing software.
That you actually
and
like,
things.
and you also do. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
find that really very fulfilling because it's out of my wheelhouse and
That's cool, man. So everything is still doing the same, like pretty much the same hardware,
uh,
or you kind of
it's the
expanding,
same thing fundamentally.
but just
but-
different. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
at a very higher level. Like I learned a lot of there's a lot of smart people in that company,
Yeah.
and some of the things they come up with,
Yeah.
man, mind blown. And now that I get to actually experience it and see and
Yeah.
like at least touch some of the stuff and
You're like, this is crazy.
yeah,
You came from
yeah.
making a byword from
Yeah,
making
keychains.
teddy bears and keychains
Making
to making
keychains.
bullets that talk to people. So that-
Right,
I don't understand
I
that
wish I
right
can
there.
tell you some of the stuff that I'm working on, but yeah,
I was gonna say
it's
that's
pretty
exactly
cool.
what I was when I told Marlon I'm coming here. It's like, are you gonna get it like a disclosure? Like you can ask
Yeah,
her
I
right here.
can't- Yeah, I don't want like FBI knocking on your door one day and seizing all your tapes. Yeah.
Nah, that's cool, man. That's good,
But
man.
It's
Yeah.
it's a very
It's a very interesting,
interesting.
very.
But I
interesting.
still miss Biowall. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, working with
Yeah.
non-engineers
Yeah,
is
it's just
is
different.
Much
Yeah. Or even engineers that are very all over the, like they're just in a different space, And that environment was very good, man. I mean, it made me, actually, I think it made me understand the human being even more, because you just said so many different types of people in one place. Because I mean, you can go to any corporate job and stuff, and you have like finance people, you have marketing, you have merchandising, but the bio world, it was so diverse, and you were seeing these people at least the closest to open as they can be, because it wasn't so, like Raj did a great job of making the company not too, and I think I can understand why he has so much success, or he has so much success in running a company like that. Yes, it's good and it's bad, obviously, like everywhere else, but I think because he understood, and he was able to make people feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more less tied into a system than because I think it motivated people to do
right.
to move
He
forward.
doesn't push the corporate culture.
Doesn't push the corporate culture.
Yes.
But I mean, there's boundaries. Obviously, it can't not always work all But then it's interesting, and because of that, it made me understand people better. Because they were giving you themselves while they're working so hard at the same time. And then when you went out to hang out and stuff like that, they were pretty much the same person, So you can understand that, okay, this person come to work and work so hard and do this and, maybe be an engineer, write this software. But when you go out to party, he's taking shots. He's still human. So, because, there's an expectation that, all these CEOs and stuff and just going home but they, I've seen some CEOs, and not to say they should do anything bad or, but I've seen he helped. It even makes you more comfortable that, okay, everybody's human, and it's inspiring. I was at people's houses, like that way, working. They're very workaholic, very hardworking and stuff. But they also showed you, because of hard work, this is what you can get. And out of work, they did whatever they want. They, enjoy their success. So it's interesting. That's why I see that's why people like Jenny really, me too, me involved, me included. I mean, she really misses bio for several reasons. She
and
said
that's the thing. It's not just me. It's not just Jenny.
Yeah.
Not just you.
Yeah.
All the people that had left. Yeah. And I talked to like Ty.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, to be able to meet all these diverse people, it's
Right.
very interesting.
Right.
Like Alex, I still remember. I mean,
It's just
I have never met a person like Alex before
before
or after him.
him.
Yeah.
But when you do, you know how to understand them or how to, not anything. You know how to relate
Right.
because of that experience.
Right.
So that's the beauty of it. It's like, wow. It's if I saw him, I would not had ever thought this guy did what he did at Bio.
Nope. Exactly.
No. And I would have thought he was in SO or something like that.
Right.
But
He's coaching Little League soccer now.
Exactly. What?
Like,
you
yeah.
see what I'm saying? It's like he
Alex.
has a big heart, but people were so intimidated by him. But him to half the things he's doing for these little leagues, I couldn't even do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
I remember he used to play. That's another thing too. He used to like soccer so much. He used to play soccer, but his body is like the opposite of a soccer player.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
Man, life is interesting, man.
It is. It is. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still just as big these days.
Yeah. By your word, man, I learned a lot. My goal is hopefully I'll have. I'll say you gotta manifest the word. I'll have Raj here eventually, hopefully.
Raj?
Yeah. He's very.
Go.
The thing about him, what I noticed that
probably do it.
you probably do. He's very engaged. He's very he adapts. He adapts a lot, and he knows like if it made sense, of course, for business and everything. If let's say I was at a level where I'm meeting, I'm certain people and stuff like that, he would definitely do it. He's very, and that's why he has the success. I would like to go into his mindset at one point and say, how do you do it, man? Like, so. Nah, but yeah, man, it's good. I learned a lot, and it's not only bio, in these corporate offices and stuff. And where I am right now, like I was telling you earlier before we were rolling, that my boss, I said it, but he's a CIO. Even in that role, like Sean was our CIO, right? But the CIO I have right now, he actually, when I was sick, I didn't tell anybody. I'm working from home, but he could tell from my voice that I wasn't feeling well, and immediately, because actually one thing is his wife was actually sick with COVID a couple weeks before that and stuff like that. So I think he understood, and he was so concerned and stuff. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, it sounds horrible." He said, "I can bring you, some medicine and stuff like that." I was like, "Nah, you okay? You good? I'm fine." So he looked up my address not that he looked up, but we have all our home addresses at work, So
are you sure you're supposed to be talking about him?
I'm saying in a positive way. Okay. So I'm sure he's very nice. He's a nice guy. So, but my whole point is that he came to my house, not because he told me he was gonna come, but I didn't really put thought into it.
Right.
So he comes in and he calls me, said, "Hey, I'm outside," and he had medicine for me. He had a COVID test. He had like some fluids and some stuff for me too. And then Then I didn't even know what to say. I didn't know how to thank him and stuff because I was really suffering. But I was just like, me, I don't really believe in. Not that I don't believe in hospitals or medicines. So I just feel like the body's antibiotics will naturally heal. I mean, I've lived in the jungle before. But anyway, but my whole point with all this is that I learn from things like that. Like this is a guy I look up to, and I'm like, man. He's probably making 8 figures, and I don't know how much he makes, but when you look at him, you're just thinking that, but when you do see the other side of him, it goes back to Alex, This guy is very nice. I mean, he's actually been one of the only CIOs I've worked for that's very knee in, like he's very hands-on. He'll go to the office and build the computers with us and stuff, and this guy, Kit, like, he works, I don't know how he does it. He works a lot because, 12 midnight, 3 a.m. he's sending emails and stuff like that. He's one of those people, but he's just so inspiring. The way he takes his job serious and stuff like that. If he says, hey, because right now we have to go to the office and send stuff, the stuff that you wouldn't think he'll put his hands into, he goes in and does it. If I can go to the office and, like I know I was sick, he'd go in and send computers. This is like, level 1 tech type of stuff. He's in there. He's so involved. He's so, and he helps the finance team when they have issues. He knows a lot about, the finance stuff. I don't know, he just inspires me, and I really, I really
you
like him
always
too.
talk about him.
Yeah,
So
he's
he
very,
made an
he
impact in your
changed.
life.
He did. He really did change the way I look at things, and very humble. But when you see like what he's done or what he has and stuff, he's not like, he'll naturally say things, and we'll say, okay, this guy is he might be a little bit loaded, but he doesn't give that to you. That's, what I mean.
Right,
So he's
right,
just
right.
somebody that very
He
frugal,
doesn't flaunt it.
very frugal, very frugal. So so I like people like that. Even like like I was saying, you're humble too. So I'm learning. We're learning as we go.
But I'm not rich, so
Yeah, but there's a difference between rich and wealthy.
true.
Nah, that's, man, life. Life. We're talking about golf right now. I mean, like, we're talking about golf. I'm just making note of time, but we're still good. But I was talking about like wisdom. The good thing about it, I'm learning to to just relax and enjoy my life where I can, because I won't take any of this with me. I'm not gonna be in my grave with a mic.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I
Give
used to,
thanks every day.
yeah.
That's how I try.
That's what inspired me to even. You know how much my first camera was? I was depressed for 5 months after I bought the camera, because, but at the time, I wasn't practicing. I'm like, okay, it's almost like when you come to the United States and you come move here from the country. You come here to make your life better. You want that high life and stuff, but then you can be always upset when you work so hard, you spend on yourself. As long as you're doing it rightfully, so it's justified. But I used to be that person that every time I spend buy something little, I go depressed,
guilty?
like feel guilty and stuff. My mom is always telling me, because of course she's also a big inspiration to me, that if you want something, you just gotta find ways to get it. How and why and when, you could always fix that. If you buy something that you can afford, you're gonna have to make those payments, so you can you can fix that. So you make a decision based on how you take care of it. So I'm just learning nowadays to try to appreciate what I have. If I want something, work hard, save, and then it's all materialistic, man. It's all gonna come and go.
Exactly.
So,
and the thing is, I've learned that even when I want something, once I have it, it's not what I expected. It's always never what you expect. It's always, you want something else now. It's a constant hole that you're trying to fill.
It's trying to fill the void.
Yep.
Yeah. I learned that, especially when I got my one wheel. That's what really changed everything for me, because I was I had been watching it online so much, but I was almost hit the button and I'll move away. Almost hit the button, but when I first got it, I was so passionate about it. I would not stop doing it. I was doing it.
Yeah.
Then I got a break when I wasn't doing it as much, because I was working and stuff like that. But then I realized that I really liked it, because I jumped back into it. I just wasn't filming and stuff and as much, but actually last night I was on it and I had some mud all over my feet, and so I was like, you know what, I really like this. And then my family, like my last birthday, they put all these they kind of put money together, and they bought me the model, the Hayeks.
Wow.
So that's why now I have 2 of them. So now I have no choice but to ride them, because I can't. It's a gift now.
Right.
So, but the interesting thing with that, because now with liking cameras and stuff, now I can ride my one wheel, go to a different place in the city, film there. So it kind of makes sense, So, but yeah, man, it's just that's why I call it such as life, man. Life is beautiful. I've had times when I think about this when I was in boarding school. I could never speak of stuff like that even smiling. But I remember when I was coming up, when my parents said, I would cry, because my mom was, because it's hard to come to the United States when you when you're in a different country. You go to apply, you get denied, you can apply, especially if you're like miles and thousands of miles. I was thinking about it like Mexico is down the border. It's very hard to come from Mexico, I'm sure, for them.
Right.
But not to say this way, but they can sneak in somehow, because it's just the border. I'm sure there's ways to get here. But when you have seas and oceans in between, it's either yes or no. You can't sneak in a plane. So you gotta do it the right way. So I used to depress over that, and it became a time I thought I'd never be, because I was young. I was like when in boarding school, I was in like 3rd grade. My parents are both here. you're home with nobody. So I used to get depressed and stuff, but I can laugh at it now, and now it actually makes me realize how life is. The timing in life is important.
Exactly.
You know, and you don't see it at the time, but I appreciate it. That's why right now, like, you know, I always make myself to be happy and enjoy it, because there's a lot of people suffering.
Contented.
Just
Yeah,
be content with life, yeah.
That's
So,
important. Yeah.
and it helps you a lot, you know. So,
Yeah.
and but yeah, man, that's why I call it Such Is Life, because then I want to make sure I, you know, I appreciate life and celebrate life, and just, you know,
Good.
in-
Getting wiser and wiser.
getting wise as I get older, man. I just
Yeah.
all I
That's
just
the
need
thing.
is a bride.
That phrase is so true. That
Yeah.
the older you are, the wiser you get. Or
It
or
is.
that you know more, and then you realize that the things that you used to worry about when you're young is like.
Yeah,
kinda
exactly.
useless.
And that's what I'll say.
Yep.
Life robs off your wisdom, and you like, imagine you. Imagine I thought the way I do now when I was 13. Man, life would be so beautiful.
No, you won't. That's the thing. I have a lot of 20-something-year-old friends that
Yeah.
same struggles. They're like, oh, why don't I have a girlfriend? Why don't I have a
Mhm.
wife? Why
Mhm.
don't I have
Mhm.
more money?
Mm.
But they don't. It's because you haven't lived that kind of life
To understand.
so that you can understand. Like,
Mhm.
if you have a wife,
Yeah.
you're gonna sacrifice a lot of,
A lot of
things that
things.
you're enjoying right now. But
Yeah.
regardless of how many times you tell them, they won't get it because
They feel. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
experienced it.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So
Very
sometimes, I mean, it's nice not to overprotect your kids and not let them make mistakes. And
Yeah. It's funny.
fine.
That lady I was telling you that I watch. She on one of the episodes she said that too. As a parent, she's saying her as a parent. I mean, I can't relate. I don't have kids, or at least the ones I have, they haven't came back home yet. but she said something that was resonated with me too. She said, as parents or anybody, we expect so much for our kids. We want them to be that. We want them to be this. We want them to be that. But the thing is, they are gonna be whoever they are anyway, because they're just going through stages of life. So all you can do is guide them, but not try to enforce them to be who, you know,
Right.
what they should be, and you kind of learn from them.
What
if
they
anything,
want them to
learn
be.
And then she said she finds herself sometimes being the younger child, and the kid being. Sometimes she feels like the kid is actually more sensical than her, because they're coming from an innocence, childlike mentality, innocence. They're not thinking too much into stuff. They're letting things be what they
Mhm.
are. When we adults, we
Right.
start, it's a good and it's bad. And I learned that, without having kids, I learned that it's crazy because Marlon is married now. I can't look at him as a child, but there's certain things he does, but it's because he's still that fresh young man side. So I'm like, wow. It's scary sometimes. Like, oh no, he made, like when he went to South Africa, he just said it, but we didn't believe. He's never been there. He's never done. Of course we're family there, right? But me, I would ever to think like, oh, I gotta make sure I take off at work. I gotta make sure this and that. Oh, but if I leave work, that the cloud that comes over you.
All the worries.
He just said it. He did it. He's been there for almost a month and a half, and he's having a blast in his life. So
Right.
it's like, I'm trying to learn that, not that I'm just gonna be making rash decisions, but
Right.
there's a certain aspect, and I see why there's a lot of even these kid entrepreneurs and stuff, because they just
just
do it.
Yep.
It's very
Nike
hard.
was right.
They just do it, yeah. And I'm learning to do
Yeah.
that, because we're very trained to be so hesitant in a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
have
areas.
tons of things that we worry about. I mean,
Exactly.
we worry about worrying.
yes.
Yeah.
Even that's why it's so hard to adapt, even with technology and stuff. This
Right.
was part of Marlon's idea. It's like, you should just, you like to talk, just get a mic and stuff. I was like, I started thinking, he's like, just buy something, man. You do it. He's like,
Right,
so.
right.
So,
And social media doesn't help. I mean, we see all our
doesn't.
friends
Oh my
having
God,
this, having that. Oh, we want this too.
I don't-
I mean,
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't even go on Facebook. You see, I go on Facebook maybe once a month, because I notice that I can't say depressed, because depressed I'll be sad, but you compare yourself a lot
right.
without even thinking about it.
Right, having
You
a
know,
lot of
you have a lot of
FOMO.
FOMO and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
even people I used to work with the people I used to work before bio anywhere, I see them, post like, oh, so and so has a kid now. So and so has a wife that looks like,
Right.
Kylie Jenner. So and so has a wife that looks like this. How about me? I'm
Who
still.
has a wife?
I'm just saying because that's what you be saying it. But then so then you start think okay maybe
Right.
something wrong with me, and then
Right.
I go Tinder and I go the person that looks like that, they don't respond to my message,
You're
and I'm like,
right.
oh
Yeah.
man,
He didn't swipe the right
it was the
direction.
right direction. The screen froze.
Right.
No, but yeah, that's the dangers of social media too. I mean,
Right.
but
But
No.
I'm completely in love with TikTok right now. Like I just
you too?
yeah.
Okay.
I can just like keep scrolling for like an hour. It's like the videos are just so funny.
from somebody in tech or
Right.
hardware. So I'm
Right.
surprised.
I'm obsessed with it.
I try to stay away from TikTok
Yeah, but it's so different than
'cause
Instagram and Facebook.
yes,
It's-
because it engages you like you're stuck on it forever.
exactly the
That's
way
not-
they
that might not be-
curate the content just for you.
Yeah,
Because when you sign up, you pick the stuff that you
stuff you
watch.
like to do. Yeah.
And it's just never ending. You just the moment I turn it on, man, I can just sit there and just
They
like,
got you.
Yep, they got me.
Oh, they got you. You okay? Oh my God,
Yeah.
man! TikTok took over the world.
Exactly.
It took over the world, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, Marlon sends me some TikToks, and I have an account. But the thing about it is, it's the same thing I don't like about algorithm, because I don't think algorithm is only picking up from TikTok. It's picking up from other areas in my phone. So it
Oh,
ends
yeah.
up, it
Yeah,
ends up,
I'm sure it
it
does.
ends up sending me to the wrong places. So
To the right place for them.
exactly. So I'm like, I was like, nah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
No, but it's
yeah.
good. The interesting part about TikTok too, here's an educational part to it too. They've I can't remember the person I watched, but you learn stuff in 8 minutes. You can learn how to code in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how they've made it
I
so
learned
fast.
a lot of things. Yeah.
So I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's speaking of code. That's another thing I'm trying to learn too. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by coding right now in my life, but that's also time and but I've been watching YouTube videos on how to code and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just I'm stepping my foot into different things.
Sure. I mean, why not? I mean, I have a friend
Yeah.
that was a mechanical engineer. He has a mechanical engineer degree.
Mm-hmm.
He gave all that up. Now trying to look for a job in IT, starting at help desk level.
Is it because that's what he likes, or it's just
Yeah, he finds
Mm-hmm.
like system administration very fascinating for some reason.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's
Mhm.
it's hard. It's hard to comprehend because I mean, if you stick to engineering,
Mhm.
you're gonna
Yeah.
it's double the pay. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the thing is, a lot of young ones these days are so passionate that money is not really
It's not
Uh,
it there.
it's a thing anymore.
Yeah, and that's also what drives them, because they put in passion over. Because wherever there's passion, there's success.
Right.
So
Right.
subconsciously they get into that because of when you how did you even get into hardware? So what would you call yourself? You're in hardware engineering.
Well, that's the thing. For
Did you,
me,
you went to school because you want to be were you going through the same?
right, but I grew up in Malaysia, and
Yeah.
which I have Chinese parents,
Right.
and
So manufacturing is just
yeah, the culture is different. It's
yeah.
you do whatever your parents want you
what
to
you
do.
do.
not
Something
what you're
is about in
passionate about.
Africa too. Yeah.
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 So I tell my friends this. I was passionate about being a philosopher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you can't tell your Malaysian parents I want to be a
I did
philosopher.
tell my parents that I wanted to be a philosopher.
They were like,
They were
"What the heck?"
You won't earn a living. So that was that was the end of the conversation.
Right.
So I went into electrical engineering, just
Yeah.
like what they asked me to. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not passionate about it, but I'm good at it.
Right.
So I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the paycheck lets me do something else.
Right.
So yeah.
You're the same way. That's the same way I feel about IT too. I remember even when I was talking about, like looking for my niche, so I can even if I want to do business and stuff. Everybody says, "Oh, you do IT, you should do something." I'm not so passionate about IT. I just know how to do a lot of that stuff, and it's made me go a lot, step a lot of
Right,
places. But
yeah.
I'm not so passionate about it. I don't wake up trying
noticed
to.
You don't talk
fix,
about it at all.
Yeah. I mean, because even like my brother or anybody would call me, hey, and I can tell from their end, they ask me how to do something, thinking that I would like to answer it, but I'm actually annoyed by it because I don't really, not annoyed to say, but it's not interesting enough to me.
Right. You don't want to waste your time.
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
So
it. Yep.
I just know how to do it because then we had an open house because our company moved to we bought this nice office yesterday, so we went there, and so
Where?
in Plano.
Really?
Yeah, they bought a new office in Plano right there by I don't know, it's just a new building.
So
It
are
looks
you
really
going
nice.
to move to Plano?
The company moved to Plano, but I will be going there a lot often for a lot of good reasons, if you know what I mean.
There is a lot of good reasons.
We have a lot of we have a big building, shared space with other companies. Man, that place is nice. Oh, it's beautiful. They know how to keep us in touch. They figured a way to make us go back to work. We fully hybrid now, but I think I'll be there a lot more full time than anything else, just because I'll have the office to myself and I just have the good
Right.
views and I can do
Something
my
new.
IT. Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, so we went back to yesterday. We're doing an open house, and I, like people like I engaged a lot of people because I'm in IT. Obviously, I talked to a lot of people, but you could tell when they came here, they would just say through a lot of things about IT. This not working, just as if I would enjoy talking about that subject. But I really didn't want to talk. I wasn't interested in talking about it as much. But I understand people. They're just talking to you about that stuff because they think that's what you do. Because that's what
What you do is who you are.
who you are.
Mhm.
So they just kept saying, "Oh, in my house, I'm thinking about this. I'm doing this." So my friend, I'm like, I don't know if I want to help you with that. It's just not clicking.
Right. Like I have some coworkers that's
Yeah.
like telling me at home they're doing the same thing they're doing at work. Like they'll be like designing something electrically or
Yeah.
doing some kind of coding. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
But
Let's talk about
it's
something
not-
else.
yeah. He wants to go
Yeah.
play golf.
Yeah, I already do 8 hours of this thing every day. Yeah, I don't want to keep doing it on my day off. But you said you're gonna go into coding. You're interested in
I'm
coding?
learning because I noticed. I guess we could say in IT, there's a lot of things that I'm seeing that I think right now it's also at an all-time high. It's running a lot of coding has always been coding, but there's a lot of things you get away with when you're not coding. I feel like.
Mhm.
You could really write a lot of programs and language and stuff. Even simple things like this guy who works for me. He's my employee. He's so good that every time I say I want to automate something and everything, because I'm just delegating work at this point. He always finds a way to write me a quick script or quick something that does it so simple, and I'm so amazed by how quickly he can do things like that. Now I don't want to be at that level, and I'm just thinking everything is going to be scripted. I mean, I do know a little bit like SQL and stuff, the basic stuff that we have to use on a daily basis at work, but he's so good at like different languages like that he can figure out, and to me like, and he uses it in a lot of different areas, not just for work. Like oh, at home I have this that changes this and that. I was like, this is cool.
Exactly. They do it at
They
home.
do it at
too.
home
That's
too,
why
yeah.
they're so good at
That's
it.
why they're so good at it, because they're spending more time on it.
Right.
But no, maybe I shouldn't say I want to learn, but I want to understand it a bit more.
Mm.
And one other thing I need to one other thing that I'm looking into, or at least one of my bucket list. I want to go to. I want to move. I want to visit the Philippines. I know this is kind of
Why
random.
Philippines?
It's friends. I can't say it here.
Oh. Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know, man. I just like.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
off
talk about
air.
it, man. It's just
Philippines, huh?
I love the Philippines. I don't know why.
Okay.
I've been watching some of their there's this I guess I blame it on YouTube. There's this other YouTuber who lives like in one of their remote islands. I can't remember the name of it.
It's
just-
like
it looks
million islands.
They have a
over
lot of
there.
them, yeah. But it's just the life is so subtle. Of course, I cannot just go there and do that. But in most of these people are just probably doing it for. But it's just so the life is just so subtle. It's just so, to me, it's more calming. Like I went to Hawaii earlier this year, and it just changed my perspective on a lot of
Completely
things.
different, right?
Yeah, I just understood why. It just made me realize how not privileged, but like we're talking about just how much you spend so much time worrying about the least important things.
Right.
No, Hawaii is still in America, but there's just I see why people like it. Why that calming, which is what
That
Marlon
slowing down of the life.
which is what Marlon is experiencing right now. I can tell he texts me 10 times every minute because he has this culture, this whole culture shock and swap, and he's enjoying every bit of life that's very calm,
Mm-hmm.
and things are just what they're supposed to be. Like he's enjoying time
Yeah.
without rushing through everything. You know,
Yeah.
He-
Not
he's
like
act-
a million things.
million things
do
at
you have
once
to do
there.
every day?
yeah. He looks like
Yeah.
I saw his picture, man. He looks so good. His skin is smooth. Lose weight. He's like eating good every time he sends a picture of food.
Right.
I was like, you're gonna miss this when you come back to the jungle.
Oh.
This is the jungle,
Yeah,
right?
every time I go back to Malaysia,
Yeah.
man, I really enjoy it. I mean, it's life is so different.
So
here.
different.
Here,
Yeah.
it's just.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just checking off the list every day. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A bunch of stuff. I have to go to work.
You
I
have to
do this, I
schedule
do this.
everything here.
Right.
In-
Right.
I'm
Especially
sure
if
in
you have
Malaysia-
kids. Those
Yeah.
my friends with kids, like
They're like an object.
right.
You're like, oh, I gotta take the kid here. Like
Right.
you're putting them on a timetable versus
Yeah.
having to like naturally, like you know, I noticed that like
Yeah.
especially right now.
Like they have to run that hamster wheel, and if they stop running,
Yeah.
their life will fall
the life will
apart.
fall apart. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. And it's not. It doesn't sound very natural.
Mhm.
It sounds like okay. I have a kid. He has to go on a seesaw. You have to eat. It's like a dog, almost like. That's how I'm
Yep.
seeing it too.
Yeah.
So it's like it's scary.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else out, in different countries. I was speaking of Malaysia. Actually, when Marlon went to South Africa, we took him to the airport. We ran into this lady from. She's from here, but she works in Malaysia now.
Mm.
Well, she was in Malaysia for 26 years. She was teaching whatever abroad. She was a missionary, but she ended up in Malaysia somehow, and then she was teaching there. So it's interesting that I told her I have a friend from there.
Mm.
You know, I told her, I said, I know my good old friend. But anyway, she kept talking about how she likes the food, and the same thing we're talking
The
about.
food is amazing.
She's
yeah.
talking about the same thing we're talking about, how she says she misses it already, and she was born and raised here. And she says she misses it here, so she's going to try to see how she can become a citizen or whatever she's talking about, and move up there. You know, she lives in here somewhere in here in Texas. I can't remember some of the cities here in Texas, but she was like, she's going back here to meet her friends and pick up her stuff and come here and hopefully try to start applying there, because she was just saying it's beautiful. He said the weather, it's just the same thing that everybody feels was not from here. So she said,
Yeah.
so
That's why a lot of people want to move out into the country,
Yeah.
move out to a farm, so that they can live a farm life.
farm life, yeah. That's that person I keep referring to her. I'll send you a channel today. You can see why. Like, she lives in the countryside.
Mm.
She does that. That's where she does. So she's doing a filming in a countryside where she lives in a cottage, and then she farms the plants at the back end. Maybe that's just me getting older. It's green stuff that I cannot do here in America.
No, a lot of people
Stuff
like
that
to see those
I can
kind
do.
of things.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
Right.
so my dream life would be have a beautiful, perfect wife and just have a country house
Beautiful, perfect wife. huh?
and a perfect life.
Yeah. Your tag is such as life, not perfect life.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I like that. That's a good one. So I'd like to have a such as life, wife.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's interesting. It's interesting. So
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, but
I'm-
yeah, the Philippines.
in some ways, I'm
Mhm.
glad that I don't have kids
Mhm.
because of the way.
The way, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how tough kids have it these days,
Mhm.
and with all the shootings.
Bringing
at
them into this
schools.
world right now is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm more for reproduction, building the world, and but the way I also look at it is I don't know if I feel selfish sometimes, but I don't know
Exactly.
if I don't
That's
know
how
if
I feel.
I don't know. I'm still young, of course, but at the same time, I'm so used to being. I can't even. I have such a hard time taking on my dog. Imagine a child, and
I thought you enjoyed taking your dog out.
I
Or
do.
used to.
I enjoy the pretty days, the cute days, the nice days when he's behaving. But when I have to figure out what time I'm feeding him, what time I'm doing this, what time the shots, and that again it goes back to being here. Responsibilities.
Yeah,
It also goes back to being here in the United States. The responsibilities are a lot different than raising a dog back home. My dog would have been outside. I just give it leftovers.
Exactly.
That's it. And it's healthy as ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
It's just
behaved,
all these
no-
expectations that we put on ourselves. like,
Exactly.
we have to make sure the dog is perfect, the kids are perfect.
Dude,
We are perfect.
my vet messages me more than my own mom messages every day. Sierra's left for this. Sierra needs this. This dog is happy. He's gained weight. What do I need to bring her over there? She doesn't look sick. What do you mean? She's not even going in the wild. I actually don't even take it out as much for a walk. I take it like twice a week because, again, that's another responsibility.
What do you feed him?
Raw.
Raw?
I switched to raw.
Yeah.
But the problem with raw, it's expensive.
Exactly.
It's
Do you
expensive.
think people in the other countries will feed their dog raw meat?
They give them regular food that they eat.
Yeah. Like
But
some of my
but I
friends
can't-
even
I-
cook special meals for them.
See, that's another chore.
Yeah.
But with my dog, the reason I like the raw is because it's a chub, cut it in half, give it to him one day, and it's already mixed, chicken, liver, everything. It's already done there, and I see the results. I mean, when I got her, she used to have this white, I don't know, like this, dry hair. The cut was so bad.
Mm.
If you see her right now, she is so it even scares me. I can't switch her to. Maybe it's not even the raw. I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking good care of it. Whatever it is, but she looks good. Like her coat is like shiny. She gets, and it's funny because every time she eats, she gets the zoomies. So it means to me that the food was good.
Mm.
She wants to play. She wants to jump. It's so weird.
Lots of energy.
Lots of energy right after she eats, and then. She when I first got her, she used to get sick. She used to have ear infections. I remember telling you, right? She used to slobber a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hasn't done it almost a year and a half since I've been giving her raw. I don't know if that's what is doing it, but or she's just in a better place, a better home. So that stuff makes me feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just having to take off a walk when I
All
don't
the
feel
work.
like walking,
Yeah.
scooping. Oh, actually, my first film, like I was telling you about the video stuff, is about scooping the poop in the backyard.
That's your first film.
I'm not sure. It's called Poop the Scoop.
So your first film is about poop.
It's about poop, scooping dog poop.
Okay.
And I narrated on why I hate.
I like how confident you are.
I think it's gonna do good. That's real life. That's reality.
True.
It's gonna be great there to act like
True.
put powder.
Yeah. Our life is like poop.
And there's a little
sometimes.
There's a lot of little comedy in there too. Like I'll
Yep.
just say something. But I'll send it to you. You'll be the first person to watch it.
I'm excited now. Yeah, I like poop.
He likes poop. So you don't have a dog anymore after this day?
No, so my wife is like, after the last one, she was like, enough. Like you said, it's all the work that's attached to it.
Mhm.
And whenever we want to go out, we have to like figure out if you're gonna go
Exactly.
leave
If you're
alone,
gonna
we
fly
have to figure
out
out
and
where to
stuff.
put them. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it's raining,
Mhm.
cold outside, you don't want to walk a dog for like
Mhm.
an hour. I mean, yeah. So all those things,
Mhm.
and every time we think about wanting to get a dog, it's like those kind of thoughts come, and it's
Yeah, I'm experiencing that now.
all right,
If I
And
was to
this
do it
is-
again, as mean as it might sound, I wouldn't do it again.
right,
Because, but I had to experience it.
exactly.
You
if
don't
you
know until you
didn't,
know it, yeah.
you'll keep thinking about it. What if?
Mhm. That's why even I hear people say, "Oh, I want to get a dog at work and stuff." They haven't experienced it. They haven't been in that situation, so they're not. So I understand that. I'm like, shh. When you tell them, they don't understand it. Just like me,
And
when
you
somebody,
can't explain it to them.
you can't.
You can't.
You can't. Yeah. So but yeah, and that's my only right now. It's my only regret. Not a regret, but it's my only challenge right now. It's just sometimes, but it don't. But like there's there's a benefit and there's also
Yeah, like everything else. I mean,
yeah, something has to give
Just-
up
yeah.
because
it's
also
fulfilling having
it's
a dog.
fulfilling because also I have I have my friends that are still trying to hang out and stuff that are who got stuff. But when I think about the dog, I don't even think about going out because I know I have to get up in the morning. I have to do this and I have to feed the
Right.
dog. I don't want to. And remember when we used to go out to Bio World, we used to have those guys who were like, "Oh, I gotta go feed my dog, guys. I'll see you later." It's 6
Right.
p.m. We just got there at 6 p.m.
Exactly.
So and happy hour, and then or some would go home and would wait for them to come back because
Yeah.
you
to let the dog out.
let the dog
Mhm.
out and stuff. My friend Lauren used to do that a lot. He would go out. She would schedule something to do. To hang out with everybody, and she's not even there because she went home first to take a dog out, and then come back 2 hours later when other people are ready to go home now. And it's like, but at the time I didn't have a dog, so I didn't understand it.
No. You
So-
don't think that it's silly.
I thought it was silly. I'm like, it's just a work same thing. My dog is scared of thunder. Yesterday was raining when I had that open house. It was so challenging for me to leave. Not because I'm saying, oh, I'm sorry, my dog, but it's because, yeah, I feel bad for her. But at the same time, I just can't leave a dog and was just running around scared in the house by herself when I'm going to office. But how do I explain that at work? And I used to laugh at people at work who say, oh, my dog is not feeling good. I'm like, it's just a dog.
It's just a dog, yeah.
But now I'm like, no, it's not just a dog because I have one. So, yeah, such is life.
Perspective.
Such is life, So those are the little things that make me enjoy life, man. But yeah, man. Like I said, kid, I really appreciate you coming through.
We need to do this another time.
Do this often, fun. Right?
Yeah, it went by pretty fast.
It went pretty fast. And you see, it's already an hour and a half. You say you couldn't go for an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, really?
It's 10 minutes for an hour
and a half.
No
way.
That's how it goes, man. And the only reason I had to add this, that's why you see my other episodes are 2 hours. Yeah. And the reason I like, I just even have to cut out soon because my grandma.
Yeah, you need to.
She's going to South Africa, so I'm gonna go home and
spend some time.
I'm gonna go home and get his suitcases and put them in my truck. Not even spend time with her. So she can. And the funny thing is, this might be not the last, but how most people say, she's treating it like she might be the last she's seeing us, because she's going far away. She's all this stuff because she's grandma and stuff. She's better off.
How old is she?
She's about 78.
Okay.
She's going back home and stuff like that, but she's saying everything like it's an age thing.
And it's so far away.
It's so far away. Really, that's what it is.
Right.
She's sorry. But then the thing about it, after all this, she's so excited she can't even wait to go home because she'd rather be there than here. The same thing we're talking about being home. Not because she doesn't want to see us, but just that.
Especially since she's lived there for so long.
She's lived there for so long. It's just so comforting for her. Everything is there for her. She can relate. She's just here. Everybody. She said, as much as she's here, nobody's ever home. Right. Nobody sees her. Nobody's working. Right. Everybody's doing this. Yeah. So it's like she's miserable.
Right.
Here.
The thought of me retiring here when I'm 60, 70 and living here for the rest of my life scares me. Because of what I see, the way old people are here, live their lives, it's very lonely and very secluded, and there's really nothing much for the senior folks to do.
Exactly. It goes back to the same thing we're talking about. It comes in the whole cycle to where you either take him to a nursing home, or you start saying, okay, I gotta take my grandma here, just doing little things just to make her feel.
Exactly.
And you're right about that. And I personally don't think I want to retire here, honestly.
Yeah, no.
I want to hopefully be able to go retire either in Philippines, maybe Malaysia, because Malaysia is not so far from.
It's pretty close to Philippines too.
So you understand why.
You can just ping pong in between, like 1 month here, the other month there. Yeah.
So
let's make a pact. We'll move back to Malaysia when we're 80.
Oh yeah, I do want to visit, man. Trust me. I do.
I need to ask you the question. What's Philippines?
We'll talk.
I think I can guess what it is.
No, there's some business. So make me cough, man. I was eating now. Nah, I don't know. I saw it on TV and I was fascinated by the landscapes.
Right, by all the islands. Huh?
The islands. And
you might be able to own a single island by yourself.
Hey, dude, they were riding the little motorcycle. It's such it's not even a moped. It's they ride a lot of the mopeds, and motorcycles there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Malaysia has a lot of.
Yeah, and then they have some of them modify them where they can put their dog and carry them. It was just so cool. It's like something I would like. And the life was so simple. They were wearing T-shirts. They were wearing. They were just so simple. And and the women are not too bad either. So they're not bad looking either. So I was like, it was just so natural. They look humbling. But maybe it's because of these shows I was watching. They were just so nice.
They're more down to earth, I bet.
They're very down to earth. It looked like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, life is simpler back there.
And you guys do Fiesta?
Fiesta.
Oh yeah, the one I watched, they do some Fiesta event where they do some. I think they call it Fiesta or something like that. So there's a lot of that I was seeing.
Well, yeah, Malaysia does. I mean,
probably
They have like a
traditional.
bunch of holidays, anyways. Yeah, lots of stuff. But I think also it's the way they treat their elderly. Like the culture here is that once we have our own family,
You
our
go,
parents will
you secluded.
you're like
Yeah,
separated and
that scares me
yeah,
a lot too. I don't know. I don't like. Yeah, you're right.
right.
It's here's a lot of
Like you live with your mom.
right.
That's very
Rare.
un
But culturally it happens a lot. Like, where even if she got older, where oh, my grandma lives with me or something like
right.
that.
Right.
But not here.
No, here, definitely.
Once you get out, you move out. Probably text every now and then, and
Right.
that's it.
Right.
But I'm happier that way. And you get to a certain way, you get that division is not good, because then that's how you separate the wife. It's almost like, that's also one other thing too that scares me about, especially you're talking about having kids now and stuff. For me, to be honest with you, I have this fear to get married to somebody. I guess obviously I get attracted to anybody, but sometimes I get scared to get married to somebody who's not from my culture.
Acceptance of your mom, maybe, or
No,
things
they'll
like
accept.
that?
No, they'll accept him, but it's just like I see
Whether they'll
that's
live with
just
them.
different. No, not even that. But I mean, I mean, I wouldn't mind, but I think there's a big chance that it would divide the family a lot, because then they'll become. I might not even say it. I might not even, because I would just, because us guys naturally too, we might tend to, men especially these days, we tend to follow the girl's culture more than anything else.
Well, because we want to make them happy.
We want to make them happy.
Yeah,
That's how
we
that's
put
how it
them on a
starts. Yeah.
pedestal, and
I
it's
mean,
like,
that's
oh.
I mean, that's not even this day. That's just mine in general. But if I married like somebody from another country, let's say I married an Hispanic girl, I'm more likely to become Hispanic. My kids are more likely to become Hispanic before
You're
they
gonna be spending a lot of time with her family.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then my kids are gonna grow up saying I'm Hispanic before they say they're African or anything else. That's what my fear is. But I guess, and then I can't say it's up to me, because it goes back to that thing. I can't force them into something, because they're always gonna be mommy, and I see it in a lot of different scenarios too. Because
that's a huge challenge.
It's a real challenge, and I see that cultural difference. I mean, of course, everybody, you like who you like. I might get married to a white woman, or a blonde chick somewhere.
I
if
can
I fall
see
in
you
love,
with one. Or one in Philippines.
but I'm gonna have to teach you, the African manners. But I mean, if I personally think if foreign cultures do kind of, there's a line somewhere. There's still some kind of understanding ways, where you actually. There's kind of, it's almost similar. It's not exactly the same way, but the mentality is almost similar. There's some kind of. It's not a big difference in culture.
Right.
There's like you
But
said,
there is a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah.
But like the very family orientation, the clothes and stuff like that, that's not as big as somebody from here.
Right.
Here it's it's a transaction.
You're right.
Yeah, it feels like a transaction. So it's like
exactly.
So it's like you
you
so
do something for me, I do something.
I do something for you. I don't talk to that side of my father's family. I don't talk this side as well. It's like I've never heard of this in my life.
So it's an additional challenge.
It's an additional challenge, I feel.
Yeah,
As the firstborn in the family, too, I have a lot of love. Imagine,
right.
I mean, before I wrap it up, I'll give you this one. Not that maybe he doesn't care or anything like that. But how you're saying you could see me even like with a blonde or... Imagine, I don't even know how I'd introduce it to my dad. Even to this day, my dad is... I mean, he's already... my brothers are dating... One is dating an American. The other is dating a Hispanic girl. But even with that...
He expects you to be with...
Yeah, he's not going to say no. He's not going to get mad or anything like that. But I think it's just going to be hard for him to... Because I can already see how... And in his own right, I see what he thinks of these other relationships in my family, and and he's not wrong, and because he's very of course he's cultural, he comes from a different background.
He grew up that way.
So when he points out certain things, he's right about it because I see it too, but at the same time, it's like okay, it gives me a challenge, and it's always been that way. Because even the girls I've dated before and stuff, I felt this way of explaining myself that, oh yeah, but she does this too. Oh, she's mixed, but she knows how to to wash my shorts. Like, who asked you? Who cares? Okay. Such is life.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what can he do? I mean, I know. I mean, if you end up with a
And he
ball
won't
or
say
something,
anything.
I mean,
He won't say anything.
what-
But it's just things that I think of, you know.
That's. I
And,
mean, that's
yeah.
the price you pay for living here. You're gonna have to.
That's what you're around. I'm around what I'm
Yeah.
around, you know. So it's not like I
Right.
can't be, you know.
Yeah, you can't stop yourself from falling in love. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I guess I have to stop it here, kid, right at 4:30.
yeah, that's fine.
And
Wow,
really,
it's
like I said, I
already
really
4:30,
appreciate.
huh?
Yeah, man. I really, like I was saying, I really appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah. I can't
um,
believe we talk so much crap. And
I didn't even get to everything I wanted to talk about. I had some notes
Yeah.
here, and I was gonna ask you some things that were challenging. You know, I don't know about Raytheon, and all this kind of lure you into asking
Yeah.
questions. But you know, like you said, I don't want people knocking on my door.
Right. Yeah. I
So-
didn't even want to mention where I work, but I guess I let that slip.
Oh man, you know, we just we say like everything else. We just say this is acting. It's on TV. It's not real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the amount of security stuff that I have to go through. Like,
I-
whenever
you
I
can't
leave the
go there.
country, I have to tell them.
Really,
Mhm,
I could
have
see
to
it.
tell my company.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be scared to work at a place like that.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know, I'm being watched.
Oh, I'm sure I'm being watched. But I like being watched.
Anyway, with that said, you know, I'll say our little our outro here. You
That's
know,
for next time.
it's for next time. We'll talk about it. Next time will be X-rated. It'll be dark in here.
Right.
You know,
right.
make sure
this
we
is a
talk about-
preview.
And Marlon will be here back from South Africa too. So
Yeah, that'd
hopefully
be
we
fun.
enjoy that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
but yeah. So this is how I ended up. You know, I just say it's always better to accept reality or extend our misfortune, as life is always unpredictable, and the results are not always in our hands. Such is life. Thanks for coming,
Such
kid.
is
I really
life.
appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
man.
Thank you for having me.
Like I told you, I've been waiting. I couldn't wait to get this one.
Yeah.
Smiling all weekend, and it's happened, man. If I wish my grandma wasn't living today, I would have done this for 3 more hours.
Well, we have next time.
We have next time, part 2.
I still have 2 weeks where my wife is still
Okay.
away. So
Oh, it's 2,
yeah.
yeah. That's good, man. Okay, well, let me stop the recording so we can see what we can do in those 2 weeks. All right, kid. Thanks a lot, man.
All right.